Hello, hello, hello. My name is Miko Aymaria Dawidowski and welcome to this little video. Sometimes I just get the need to talk, to just blur things out of my mouth, so they can be disposed of from the mind and to create some space. And this particular video doesn't have a title, as you can see, because there is no title. Because I have no structure, no any particular way or direction in which I would like to take this video. Let's just put it. I simply wish to speak for the sake of speaking, as I practice my ways of exploration, of conveying certain ideas and articulation for the sake of itself. So I'm just exploring what it is to weave certain structures of articulation within speech in order to give me a better precision for future videos. Why am I uploading this? Don't know. Because I feel like it, I guess. Still working with my I am that I am, of course, within the mind, and that's probably what makes the little lag. It's like when you're constantly repeating the I am that I am in the mind, you're trying to speak. In the beginning, it was basically impossible for me to speak, but at this point, I am, as you can see, able to build quite long sentences. And one thing that I could talk about is the fact that I don't like to look at myself as a teacher. I teach, yes, and I point people in certain directions, I give guidance, or however you wish to say it, but I perceive myself as a student, to be honest, that has walked a certain path and it is at a certain point within the infinity and is unfolding itself within itself the way I choose. Not to use the third person form. And by exploring myself, I just come across people that ask for guidance or ask for help, and I'm more than happy to share what I know. And I share my experiences, and I share my thoughts, and I show the way I see it, which is of course just one of the millions and millions of ways through which you can reach God and reach the divinity and reach unity and other forms, depending on what you're seeking. But I'm still learning. Well, not learning per se, because there isn't anything for me to learn. I just do the things that I do because I know what to do. Because within the infinity, there is nothing to be done. But at the same time, I don't leave anything undone. Beautiful paradoxes. Everything at the end of the day always gets done, but there was never anything to do in the beginning. But in the meantime, the things are being done within the present moment. It's fascinating. I truly see it as fascinating because you have nothing to do and yet you're always being the doing. It's like you can be in a state eventually when you're exploring the heart where you are doing things, but you're not perceiving yourself as doing the thing, you're just perceiving yourself as being, and happening, let's just call it, happens through you. As you yourself fully focus upon that which you are, which is I am that I am, of course. That's what I advocate, or that's what I share, that's what I teach. There have been many ascended masters and teachers that have been teaching many forms of the I am, because I am that I am is the eternal I am within that which I am. And so there are many myriad of ways. There's a whole myriad of ways in which you can share the I am and explore the I am, and there probably would be as many teachings about the I am as there are people, and that wouldn't be wrong, because each person has their own path to walk, and therefore some will see the I am in one way and the others will see the I am in another way, and depending on which point within infinity you have collapsed yourself as a consciousness, you'll perceive that which I am in a different way. Because I am that I am, and I am God, and I am that which I am, and I am that I am. These are all the different variations and ways to express the eternal I am that is within, the itness, so to speak. And within itself, there are so many ways that you can explain it, and at the same time we're so limited by the language that direct experience is something that I personally would strongly recommend. Within my teachings, I usually encourage the students that the theory should only be about 10%, and the rest should be practice. Practice. So, to put it in another way, for every 1 hour video that you watch on YouTube, you should do 9 hours of practice. Let that sink in for a moment. For every 1 minute video, there should be 9 minutes of practice. See? That's what I teach. Because if you have a whole mountain of information that is of various sorts and kinds, remember, new information replaces all the information when it enters the brain, then most of the time, if you're sitting there just constantly consuming information, only about 10% sticks if you're lucky, and everything else get replaced by the new information that you're already consuming. Of course you become more intellectual, but if you do not apply it within your life, if you do not live it in your day-to-day life, if you don't allow it to work through you, so to speak, with affirmations is literally like that. You allow the affirmation to work through you and you live it. You then just have another full shelf, something to occupy the mind with, something for the mind to play with, and it gets you nowhere, and it changes nothing in your life, because there are so many informations that you can consume that are completely useless in your life, that will get you nowhere, and at best they're just distraction, and at worst they're traps that will keep you believing that you yourself somehow do not have the ability or the power to be yourself, and you'll be distracting yourself from yourself to avoid yourself from becoming yourself and expressing yourself as yourself. And what I mean by that, because that was probably easy to follow for most of you, but for those who didn't follow, what I mean by that, there are no musts, there are no shoulds, you don't need to be like this or you don't need to be like that, and the opinions of others don't matter, because your self-worth should come from within. It's your divine right, and you are enough as you are. And so when you realize all of these things and you allow yourself to express yourself as yourself at any given moment, which means anything that comes, you allow it to flow through you freely without judgment, then you can start changing yourself. Then you can be a different self, so to speak. You are an infinity, and so you can express yourself in absolutely any way that you want. But you cannot do it from the space of judgment, because when you try to do it from the space of judgment, you're stopping it. And so people say, oh, I can't be myself, because if I am myself, I'll just start smoking, I'll start binge eating, I'll start playing video games. Then do that. And be yourself within it, and accept yourself as yourself within it. And the moment you accept yourself, you'll see that you can choose to be anybody else, and you can choose to do something else, and not from the space that, oh, I can't be that because it is wrong to be that. There's nothing wrong with being yourself and playing video games. There's nothing wrong with eating or drinking alcohol. As long as you accept yourself, you will never have the need or the craving or the want to do it. The want, the desire, the addictions, all of that comes from the rejection of the self. And the rejection causes you to go down into those paths because there's lack of love. And the whole idea is that you need to first accept yourself and then love yourself. Unless you love yourself fully, you're going to be drawn to explore certain identities or personalities within yourself in order to bring that love into you. And once you love yourself, you can free yourself from yourself because you realize there are more loving ways of existing. But if you reject yourself and hide yourself from yourself, then, nothing can happen. And you're going down the spirals of addiction, pretending that you are not yourself, when all that you're doing is you're just doing what you want to do. But you're just very, very, very harshly judging yourself for it, and therefore you're going deeper into it because there's lack of acceptance and love. That would be it for my little rant for today. Blessings be upon you, my friend. I bless you. And I hope to see you in the next one. Have a wonderful day. Leave a comment, like, maybe subscribe. Apparently I'll be making some videos in the future as well. Seems like it to me anyway. Well, we'll see. Bye for now.